live from Bangladesh. Well, not exactly live, but I'm gonna record it and then I'll post it. It's gonna be my first YouTube. I'll post to Facebook, Twitter. But this is a message to the, I don't know how many, maybe 1 million people interested in black soldier fly. Now this is my little test plot on my balcony on my 6th floor, and it's my 3rd generation here of adults, and they're laying eggs on those boards. But this is not a how-to. This is about a why-to. Why do this? Why, Ron, did you come from America to Bangladesh? Well, it wasn't for this. But everything has changed around the world since I came here in 2019. Well, now we had 2 years of lockdown that destroyed the global supply chain of just about everything. As you remember, there was only, what they call it, essential business. What that meant was, if you're a small or medium enterprise, you're not essential, so you're going to be on lockdown. We're going to shut you down under penalty of law. And so what that meant was, the big mega corporations were allowed to function. And with it locking down your nation, all over the world this happened, except for some smart people in Africa that were running the show down there and said, hey, we know how you guys work. And they basically ignored all this. But they lost out. They lost out big. Little nations like where I am, in Bangladesh, they got over $5 billion for being obedient to the crown, the company, the British East India Company. Yeah, that one. That one that, there's the, that just disappeared. It doesn't exist anymore. And in 1947, sovereignty came. You're now a sovereign people. You have your own political class that can rule India, Pakistan, Nepal, and of course it was East and West Pakistan back then in 47. And Shirley Bangla, A.K. Fazl Haq, he knew darn good and well it wasn't going to work in East and West Pakistan. He warned them, hey, language matters, and it does. And I'm so sorry, I don't speak Bangla. I use translation software, and it helps, but it does not replace what I would love to be able to do is speak to you in Bangla. But today I'm speaking to the entire developing world that is in the zone of the tropics, whether it's in the southern hemisphere or the northern hemisphere. Why? Well, because here, these little critters are the solution to the crown system of monopoly, the company monopoly. And the company today is BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. They love centralization of everything, and they, over the last 100 years, throughout the world, They brought us the great benefit of mining for potash, phosphorus, and the magical production of ammonia from methane. It was a great chemical wonder back in about 1900, a little before, in Germany. And of course, it also is great for making bombs, the whole process, but it increased crop yield. But what did it do? It centralized everything. We moved away from thousands of years of agriculture that was really sustainable. It had gone on forever. Black soldier fly had not been recognized for its utility in producing super high value concentrated proteins and lipids at that point. So what it meant was, well, they just did their thing in nature. Cool. In fact, that's how it was always done, just nature. And so, but once centralization happened, now we get our potash from mostly 4 countries, and phosphorus comes from predominantly 1 country. And then, of course, nitrogen. If you're rich in natural gas, you can produce ammonia from making using natural gas that comes out of the ground. Well, it's not profitable here anymore to make natural gas. Natural gas is too valuable. In fact, here we import 60% of the natural gas needed to run the country. And so LNG, liquid natural gas. So we built an infrastructure here. And what happened with it is we ended up, once the price spiked, it became totally unable to continue this. So essentially LNG is stopped here. Oh, there's some from old contracts, but the spot market is so high, well, we just had to abandon it. And so we're in a real pickle. But this was planned. This is banking, central banking system of the company. The company. It is hand in hand with the ag cartel on a global level. But I'm not really here to explain the problem. I will in the future a little more. There's a lot of people talking about how the game is played, but I want to explain how we can play the game. How we can take control of our own family food. Here on my little balcony, I can produce 500 pounds, 200 plus kilo of protein and vital lipids annually. I mean, that's way more than I could eat. And I'm not going to eat that protein unless, it turns into a Mad Max moment. And, who knows? But I can offer that as excellent, top of the line proteins and lipids for poultry and fish. Because you see, the cost has increased so much for grains coming from South America, soybean, corn from America, Canada. The price has doubled. So the farmers here have raised, just in the last days, overnight, chickens went up 45%. But my cost to produce protein hasn't increased a bit. I get my source for it from the sun, from wasted organic product. Now I do use a little guts from fish and chickens, but also vegetable waste. The amount of waste is crazy. Now that's going to get less and less as we move into the global famine. However, we'll still be able to produce a lot of protein from black soldier fly larvae. It's not hard, but really very few people know how to do it. And the more you have a degree of understanding of biology and processes and life cycles and, stepping into the life cycle of nature and producing a product from the sun that provides all energy, photosynthesis, produces the plant, we harvest the plant, sometimes millions of tons go to waste from many different reasons. Some natural, some man-made, especially man-made now. As the price of fertilizer and everything else, oil, diesel, is skyrocketing, thousands of former chicken farmers have exited the business just in the last months. It's just not profitable. One, nobody can afford these eggs. In fact, some big producers here in Bangladesh have had a 30% reduction because people that they supplied feed for chicken to have just gone out of business. They can't do it because nobody can afford these eggs. Well, some can, and we know who those people are, and they're going to endure for a long time, except during Mad Max. But here in Bangladesh, there is a real shortage coming in eggs. Well, it's being balanced out though because people can't afford them. 30% increase, over 30% in the last year. So millions of people, there's 165 million roughly people here, and that's a lot of eggs needed to feed the people. But all that's remaining are the big mega businesses. Well, there's reasons for that. It has to do with the global central banking system and fiat money. But that's another story I'll cover some other day. For now, I just want to say, here's the vision. Here's the vision. We're going to start a Sher-e Bangla movement. The Tigers of Bengal. Yes, we have a great icon in A.K. Fazl Haq. He was a wonderful representative of the farmers in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, and up until his death in 62. And he is universally known here as Sher-e Bangla, meaning, in English, Tiger of Bengal. Well, we're going to start a Sher-e Bangla movement with the people he represented as a statesman, a great statesman, in the farmers of Bangladesh, of which there's still about 50% of the people are engaged in agriculture here, as is most of the developing world. So this is the place to really learn to become self-sufficient, decentralized, and feed your family by your own hand. And in doing so, that's called sustenance. And then there's cash crop. Well, the whole world's going into this famine thing. You know, I'll explain that all later. You know, I spend a lot of hours every day in the global agriculture trade journals. Forget the news. That's mostly propaganda. Twisting, contorting. You know, you go right to the source. What do the farmers have to say of the world? Man, we're in trouble. So, this is my first, I hope, of many informative, directive agendas. My vision for Bangladesh is 10 million farmers, individuals, homeless people on the street. I've designed a system where, yeah, it's out of the reach. 2,000 taka, 20 bucks, 20 US dollars, 2,000 taka is the capital investment needed to have your own little sidewalk BSF production system. Think about it. When the poorest people can be brought into participating in their own food production and capital accumulation by selling some of those black soldier fly larvae. But it's a mentoring program. It's going to take mentoring these people. I mean, most people don't know how to do this and never even heard of it. But it's mentor based. And the whole system, I spent almost 15 years putting together how to do a global mentoring system to empower the common people of the world, those who are so screwed for centuries, especially in the developing world. How do we help them? If we can't help them, who are we as humans? Who are you? Subscribe, please, to my channels that will be coming. And let's start a world movement of the farmers of the world from the tropics. I'll talk about America and the north and south, and, you know, below and above the tropics, north of the Tropic of Cancer and south of the Tropic of Capricorn, and what we can do for them. It could be brought into being part of our cash exchange, whatever that's going to look like. But it's changing. So anyway, here on my life mission, I came here from the comfort of my family and my American life to help us make obsolete the company system of centralization of everything we need. Because as Henry Heinz Kissinger said, control the energy, control the nation. Control the food, control the people. This is back in 1972. And that's what's happening, folks. But more on that later. Love you all. Bye for now.